Hey guys, Adrian here, Keep Guru, and this is a video response to some people in the comments and a little bit of touching up on a subject that I shot a vlog for. I was just debating on whether I should do it for this channel, but I figured like I don't do a lot of technology recently for this channel, more in digital dojos, like reviews and all that. I thought I should shoot this vlog and be more appropriate to post here because this is where the original video was posted. So back in April 26, 2012, I shot a video on thoughts on 13 most useless college majors due to an article that the Daily Beast wrote. I gave my opinions on it, gave my thoughts, got some feedback in the comment that I never really got to see because I've been so piled up with work, and like literally the comments are from 5 months ago and I don't even know if these people are still around or will even care. But I thought I should respond to them either or and kind of clarify some stuff in the video for future reference and for people in general who may have been, confused or something. But so first off, I dropped my opinion on this video on an article that showed the 13 most useless college majors and why I thought that majority of them were liberal arts, and I thought my support, my reasoning why I thought they were majors that people shouldn't really be majoring in, or why, or not necessarily that, but why they are the statistically the most useless majors, they say, and the lowest earning majors, because they are the most of these are lowest earning majors as of right now. Well, there's visual and performing arts, studio arts, drama and theater arts, etc. These are the lowest earning majors, and that's according to a recent article I even read up over at Time. So Time magazine has a post on this, and I'm going to leave that link and reference down below. And these stats, I'm pretty sure, are still up to date as of current. While the higher earnings are engineering, medical, etc. Now, a lot of people in the comments, somebody talked to me as Johnny05X here, talked about how whether or not you can, I answered one of his comments, but he went on to talk about how when Michelangelo painted the Sistine Chapel, did he just do it for the money? Just do me one favor and look at back all the things that art has created and what has become of it right now. Without it, what would happen to this the soul of a human being? Sometimes it's not about the money. Okay, so first off, I stated in the video clearly that you can make a living off of art and you can do whatever you want to do. You can do what you love, whether it pays a lot, whether it doesn't pay a lot. Do what you want to do. I clearly stated that. I think a lot of people have issues now with jumping to the comments and talking about stuff when I'm sharing my opinion on something. I'm not even saying, like, you need to do what I say. I'm just not even giving advice necessarily. I'm giving my thoughts on it. That's exactly why I titled the video, and that's why a lot of these comments made no argument or no sense to me. I'm all for, sharing your opinion on stuff, but Michelangelo, the Sistine Chapel, and all the people who did these great art back in the day, yeah, that's great. But I'm talking about now. In this video, I'm specifically talking about a list that pertains to today's economy and today's, students and college students. And I talked about specifically about right now, how in this current state, student debt loans are the number one in debt. Student loans are the number one in debt. Behind, and behind that, it's like automobile and credit and all that. That's about today's statistics. The statistics I'm talking about are today. That doesn't apply to Michelangelo and the Sistine Chapel. I'm sure he didn't do it for the money. I'm sure I don't even know if he got paid to do so. I didn't research all that because I didn't want to waste time, researching all this stuff. Because yeah, you're right. Maybe where would we be without some of this stuff? But I don't know. But what I talked about was human survival, the element of human survival. And if we didn't have the Sistine Chapel, if we didn't have all the stuff you talked about, would we be alive? Sure thing. Would he be as, praised and as famous as he is now? Maybe not. But that's what I'm talking about. Science, health. I'm not just talking about technology here. Engineering, all this different stuff applies to human survival. I'm talking about the now. And if you want to take that back then, if we didn't have all this other, stuff like doctors in the fields of science, and we wouldn't maybe some of us wouldn't even be alive now, because due to illnesses that may have taken our fathers and mothers before us. That's, if you want to bring into that level, we can talk about that. I mean, medical and science, and the way I talk about it is because it directly impacts human survival. Art won't necessarily cure anybody. It won't bring a solution to an illness. It won't bring a medicine or a vaccine to a child who is sick, or somebody in Africa, people in Africa who are suffering from whatever epidemic it may be. Art won't simply do that. That's a mixture of science and all that. And in the same aspect, I also want to talk about, I never said liberal arts was not important. I said it may be a useless major, and I think people shouldn't major in it. I never told anybody not to find a career in it or anything like that. I specifically said you can still find a career in it. And somebody here, thirdzion.com, who I went to check out his channel because he left me a comment 5 months ago that said, let's burn the art programs down to the ground. We don't need them in the world since they're useless. People drop They leave people jobless and with little money. Your values on life and anything non-tech related shows your lack of maturity, son. Honestly, I wish you well in your future endeavors, but please stop giving advice on education when you have none or don't plan on getting any. And so on this aspect, this guy, I sent him a couple comments, and I don't even know if you'll see him. Hopefully you will, because I know he makes videos. I checked out his channel. First off, for you to tell me not to not to give advice on education, whether because I do not have any, or because I do not plan on getting any in terms of college. I'm in my high school. I'm in my senior year right now, so in that aspect, I do have that education. I think it's bigotry and it's hypocritical to tell me not to give advice and you're telling me something on the internet. And first off, it's on the internet, so whether you like it or not, people are going to give their opinions on the internet. And I specifically made this video titled "My Thoughts." You act as if, well, you have to agree with them, and you try to be sarcastic in the fact that I said, let's burn down the art programs, stuff like that. I never mentioned anything about taking art programs away or any of that sort. You tell me my values on life and anything non-tech related show your lack of maturity. I like to think I'm more mature than a lot of people out there in my age group and who do this stuff on YouTube. I mean, I'm not going out there and trolling the internet and making death threats. I'm giving my opinion on something that means of value to the education system, and that has a lot of talk in today's society. If that's what lack of maturity is to you, then so be it. But I will never tell you not to comment on my videos. I will never tell you because you lack education or thereof that you shouldn't comment on my videos. I have made a living and earning off of YouTube for 6 years now. Since I've been on, I've made money. I have made enough to be financially independent, which was my goal when I started. I sold a lot of stuff. I sold rights to some of my early videos when I first started out. I got rid of my first startup I made on the internet to move on to my second one, digital dojos with some pretty revered people on the internet. I took ownership of that web startup eventually, and I have flipped that into making a decent profit for somebody at my age. I was able to pay off a car, wear a Rolex watch. Does that make me a better person? By no means, no. It doesn't make me any better of a person because I have business experience. It's taught me a lot. But the same, to go to you, I'm not going to tell you you don't have experience in the business field. You do not have an education of that. You haven't done anything in the web startups in terms of what I can see on your website or with your channel. You have 5 subscribers. In total, I have around 7,000 with 4 million views. Am I going to dog you because you do not? Or am I going to tell you because you are a smaller channel than I am not to leave any opinions or comments or whatever? No, because you already did. So into that aspect, I think it's very bigotry and hypocritical for you to tell me that. In the end, when it comes down to it, I also talked about the thing about money, a lot of stuff revolving around money. And like I said, I want to pertain this to today's society. I'm not saying don't find a career in art. I'm not saying it's not important. Because there's more appreciation I think we need to have for the arts fields, in that I'm taking Guitar 1 now for my senior year for fine arts credit. And it's something that when I took it, I had no experience in musical background or guitar. It's like a foreign language to me. It's like learning code when I learned HTML, PHP, etc. It's like learning something totally new and like a foreign language. But I also watched a recent video where they talked about how music was something that is less appreciated in schools, in some schools, because some schools value sports over something like music, where music is just as important to our education, and where sports may build team building and all that. Music requires a whole new mindset of things, and by that means, yes, it does. And again, I'm not dogging on the music or the art program. It needs to be appreciated more in schools and stuff like that. But I'm not. Again, I fail to see where anybody made the argument about how do you grade art, how do you classify art, and how do you hire somebody based off of school they went to, whether they went to Harvard or whether they went to some community college for their art, whatever they majored in, studio art, whatever. How do you judge that? I mean, when I hire a web designer, I'm not going to really, if one went to Yale and one went to a community college, but the guy at the community college is more experienced with Photoshop, is more, has experience with InDesign and vector arts and all of that, and he's better at what he does than I need, then that's what I need. I hire people in my business based off of the work they can do and the skills they have at their disposal, not necessarily what they majored in and where they majored in at, what college they majored in. So, nobody failed to bring that up. I just said purely that science, math, engineering, etc. are at the pinnacle of the highest earning majors right now, are at the epicenter of the most, jobs, that provide the most jobs, etc. Because right now those are the jobs that will enhance human living and, just epidemics and all that will provide cures, provide solutions, I like to think, for human survival, that will provide longevity for human survival. Art brings great stuff to life, and it makes it all the much more colorful, and it brings products like what Apple makes with technology mixed with liberal arts that makes the products they do. But in terms of enhancing our, how we survive from a cancer, how we cure, the common cold or whatever it may be, art has no, there's no department that art will touch in that field, I think, when it comes to that. I think that kids don't exactly need to go to school to be told that they're, majored and got a degree in their master's degree in, studio art or drama or theater. I think there's many successes now, especially on the internet, that go to show that kids can just, make a video and show their skills and can get really, can get a job from there. I'm not saying it's for everybody, by all means. Some people do need to go the college route, but those are just my opinions. My reply, my thoughts on what some of you guys said. And again, I'm open to more suggestions and feedback. I'm not going to tell anybody, like this guy told me, that you can leave. You shouldn't give your advice or thoughts or opinions on anything due to a lack of education or thereof. That's ridiculous. I will never tell anybody that. So I thank you for watching. Thanks a lot, guys. Hope this cleared up some things, and I hope this got out to some of you guys who made the comments. So yeah, thanks for watching.